So the city is quite big. It's very sprawling. Um, you notice this like core of buildings that are like kind of larger and shinier towards like the middle of the city. And mm, I don't know what the 12 that you can ascertain, like which is the nice side of the city and which is the poor side. You do, after flying around a bit, see a bunch of fields to the north of the city,
Hmm.
looking like very agriculture heavy.
I
I think with a 12, that's probably about it.
okay. I think I'm gonna be a fire and be distracted. Is there any tree around to have a point as a point at some point? Point at some point.
Um,
I want to say
hmm.
nearby. I'm not gonna fly far away for it.
Okay. There's probably like a few scattered trees in the north, like towards where all of the grain fields are.
Mm, Pass by. Is there one big one that meets the need for travel to France?
Uh, roll me a D2. One is yes, two is no. There is
Oh,
not. They're all a little spindly.
okay, not a problem. I'm gonna go back and being a chance for comedy. I'm gonna ask, do I find them when I get back?
Make me a survival check.
Ah.
Yes. The smell of shawarma guides you back to them.
Yeah,
Flop,
we're
flop, flop,
probably
flop
just
back.
still in the same. If you're only gone for like 10 minutes, we're probably just in the same alley having lunch.
I distract myself for like 20, 30 minutes, but not much than that. Fall back. That smell. I relate to to everyone what I saw, and I don't know. Seems like we may find a nice place around the bigger, shiny buildings.
Do we want to find a nice place around the bigger, more impressive, more decadent, likely to attract the wealthy and the knowledgeable?
Last week we asked Phelan what part of the city the Platinum Army was barracked in, and
He said
decided
the north.
to go to the opposite. So I think we decided to go to the south.
Yeah.
From our point of view, that part of the city that I saw is in the north,
The bigger buildings are pretty much in the center of town.
but from our point of view, where are we?
Still near the docks. A little
Yeah,
west
you're
side of the
still
city.
pretty close to the docks. So the docks is on the west side. So you would have to go like a little south, but mostly east
Oh,
to
we
get
can
to the big
try it.
buildings.
We can try the south part of that part of nice buildings. Like, yeah, we don't have to be in the posh thingies, but there is a degree of posh poverty in the middle.
The more reputable the places we go right now, the more likely they are to ask questions about our business. Who are we? Where do we come from? We go to a dingy workman's bar. People aren't going to really question it. They might look at us a little strangely, but they're just going to mind their own business for the most part
I have
because they're
no idea.
tired. and they just want to drink and go about their day.
I have no idea how city works, so I trust you on that.
At least that's what makes sense to my. Any other counter opinions?
Nah, I agree. I think the more out of the way we are, the better, the less likely we are to attract attention.
Pert finishes dissecting and itemizing his lunch, starts eating.
So should we find a place to stay first so we have a place to meet, and then I'll go run errands?
Yes.
It sounds like a logical step.
To find an inn.
Okay. So you just start walking south and looking.
Before we leave the alleyway,
Mm-hmm.
do we have... So on our way here, perhaps including things that we saw, maybe anything that we learned on the ship, what is the situation in the city with people walking around with weapons and armor and stuff?
Oh, there's definitely... You've seen some people walking around with short swords.
So it's a bit more rough and tumble.
A little bit. Has Risbon ever been to Nerona? Or I guess you could make a history check. See what you would know about the city.
I don't know that she has. I don't think she came this far north.
Okay. Rizwin or anyone who is proficient in history can make me a history check. Okay.
I just got touched by a 1.
Womp womp. So, Pert, you've definitely never been here. From what you've read, Nerona is a bit more of a rough and tumble city. Although it's got its pretty fancy parts. There's a lot of good science and engineering that comes out of the university here. Nerona is also magic is a lot less stigmatized here. It is not so rare to see somebody like openly using magic, although there are, still rules. Well, people who use magic still have to abide by the same rules as everybody else, It's not quite so heavily regulated as Marielda.
Fascinating. There is a minor concern about the attitude towards magic users that might be worth thinking about, Zoe. I would say Fire as well, but Fire isn't going to listen, so...
Sorry, what are you saying?
Exactly.
Okay, well, along those lines then, I think Rizwan will stow her glaive, but keep everything else like armor and stuff. She does have her hair wrapped up, and I know at least we have had Fire take his armor off. So that's also...
Still naked.
I don't know if anybody else is doing the same.
I think Pert openly carries his fencing rapier, because why wouldn't he?
Okay, now to the south.
Okay.
While we're heading in that direction, Chamie, Pert is specifically keeping an eye out for, I'm going to call them lookouts.
Okay. So I'll have you make a perception check for that, while somebody else is making a perception check for finding an inn.
I can offer assistance to anybody that is looking for it.
I got a shit perception.
Okay, well, I'll do it
Zoe's,
then.
Zoe still needs a new set of glasses.
Is Camille assisting Rizman?
Yeah,
Okay.
the two soldiers are desperately trying to find a CD, which actually kind of makes sense.
Okay, that's not bad. Um, so Pert, you do pick out a couple of people who you think might be, what was the term you used? Watchers?
Lookouts, guild
Lookouts?
related. I guess that would be the finger quotes guild related.
Yeah. There's a couple of people who kind of ping your radar, but nobody approaches you. You can be assured that you have drawn a little bit of attention just by your very presence in the city. But that could just be because you are 6 pretty well off looking folks.
I think Pert
With a
will.
cat.
Yes. I think Pert will look for one of the lookouts that are in a position where it would be easy to claim he was just tying his shoe, and wander over to put a foot up, bend down, tie a shoe, and under his breath just inquire if there's a oh god, what would be the best phrasing for it? Oh, hey friend, any chance there's a bar a person who's spent too much time at sea could go to get the gossip? So he's bluffing to act casual, but he's trying to see if he can get the person to offer a recommendation.
Hello, fellow danger person.
Make me a persuasion check. Hey, not bad. You say it at thieves' can't. And the guy goes, oh yeah, okay. All right, David, I need the name of a bar.
The Swallow.
The Swallow. Okay. So
Ew.
he
It's a bird.
I killed a
Sorry.
Jamie.
What the fuck was I gonna say? Oh, right.
I don't know.
God damn it. So after just like a second of looking around, he replies to you in Thieves' Cant. Well, you can try the Swallow, but if you want the good stuff, you gotta go to the Proving Ground.
Oh, excellent advice. Thank you. And Pert will palm them a copper piece.
Okay.
Because I actually have a copper piece to palm.
He takes it and just starts casually walking down the perpendicular street.
And when Pert returns to the group at a very casual looking run, because he can move like that, he will share both names. A clear guild member, or phrasing, a legitimate businessman recommended either the Swallow or the Proving Ground, with the Proving Ground being the good one.
Which one's least likely to ask questions?
Any answer to that Pert got from the guy's phrasing?
Nope.
So Pert kind of gives a shrug. I'm guessing the guild does business in the proving ground, but that's just my assumption.
Proving ground doesn't sound a place you can go to rest.
Is this in one of your dueling club things?
There's a possibility. Hey, Chamey, is the city famous for any of its landmarks? Wink, wink.
The thing that the city is most famous for is the university, Mainland University. Which Pert might be able to intuit that that's probably the big shiny buildings in the middle.
Oh yes, Pert wants to go visit that too at some point. I was more thinking about the Overlook.
The Overlook. I don't think you would know about that. It's not like tourism is not really a thing in this world.
Yeah, no, it took a long time for it to be a thing in our world.
What? What thing? I missed that word.
Tourism.
Ah, tourism. Ah.
So I don't think that is something a person from Sheras would know about.
Say, unless you're like a dedicated merchant, you hardly ever cross cities, let alone continents.
Yeah. Who? Okay. Perception of 16. So you guys start heading south, and the buildings do start to change. They're not necessarily like more run down or seedier, but they do seem like there is at least to Pert, there is an obvious difference in the type of stone that's been used to make them.
Pert's a
There's
dwarf, isn't
something-
he?
There's something about this area that just feels older. Rizwin, you spot it's not like a freestanding inn, it's kind of like, a building in the middle of a row of buildings on a block. That has like rooms for rent at the bottom of the sign, that has like a big coffee cup.
I mean, sounds good to me. Yeah, I'll lead everybody inside.
Okay. So you find yourself in a little cafe, and talking to the woman at the counter. There is indeed 3 rooms for rent. It seems in this city there is not a lot of like large scale inns. There's more a culture of like bed and breakfast style places.
Yeah, I'll pay for the 3 rooms. Get set up.
Okay. Like 5 copper a room.
Okay. 15, 30. I will hand over 4 silver for 2 nights.
Okay.
So is it Pert and Kamail, or is it Fire and Amma who are the usual roommates?
I think that's the usual setup, because Fire and Emma tend to just bunk together, the 2 girls sitting there. The 2 talls.
The 2 talls.
I am tall.
Yeah, but you also have a different classification.
You also carry two pillows with you. One purrs and the other one's slept on by the purr.
I appreciate how did you manage to stumble into an answer there. So we found room. Yay.
Found rooms. The talls, as you so kindly put it, are going to be a little uncomfortable sleeping in these beds. You're going to have feet hanging off the edge, more so than usual.
Story of our lives.
Can I borrow the collar?
I will recommend to everybody to not leave anything valuable in the rooms.
So I need to keep all my stuff with me?
Stuff you don't want people to go through or take, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about people stealing your giant barrel of fungus.
Mm.
I have a stop to make. Who wants to come with me?
Pert nods.
I mean,
Is it
yeah.
shopping related or
No, information gathering.
pick purple?
I got. I want to. What people want to do? I want to see the marketplaces? Question mark. But besides that, Bert doesn't want to go to the library or something.
I will make a trip to the university at some point. I don't think it's important to make it a priority.
You ever feel like our sessions just turned into one shop?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not shopping.
All right. Let's start with Rizwin's. Who's going with you?
Bert.
Sounds like Pert.
Okay.
Okay. I suspect I don't know exactly where I'm going, so I will get in probably the correct quarter of the city, and then find. I don't know. I assume there's guards patrolling around.
Yes. They are, they are wearing, armor, but underneath the armor, they're, what's the thing called that goes under the breastplate?
Chainmail?
No,
Rest.
the cloth part.
Oh, it's just
I
padding.
don't remember.
Doublet, tunic.
Arming shirt.
Arming shirt, whatever. They have a more practical breastplate on, but underneath it's got that same bright purple that all of you saw people working at the dock had.
Okay. Yeah, so she'll just walk up to one and address him in a military fashion. Could you point me in the direction of the Stone and Scale Hospital, please?
Let me.
Stone and Scale?
Mhm.
We as a party, we haven't heard of that, right?
That's
Correct.
correct.
Nope, I assume this is backstory stuff.
He looks a little a little puzzled as he looks at the two of you. All right. Go up that street until you get to the big red building on the corner. Hang a right. It's the second on the left.
Thank you. And I turn to Pert and say, let's go. Hopefully they can help you there.
And Pert
Would
just
you like
kind
me
of
to
looks sad
toss a
and
deception check?
Yeah, sure.
Pert will assist with this since he's halfway decent at reading situations, even if he's not good at responding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey, that's still not great. Well, it's average.
Yeah. They give you puzzled looks as you say that and then quickly walk away. You just kind of glance behind you and you see one just like shrug to the other.
I'll mutter something about it's the gills.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I'll follow the directions.
Okay.
And once we get inside, is it fairly empty, or what's it look like?
It is fairly empty. There is one lady sort of sitting in a chair with like an iguana or something on her lap.
I gotta pet it.
You're not
there.
there.
God damn it. Where am I?
I don't know. And there's a young man at the desk, can't be more than 18, who
I thought we were all
looks up
together.
I will
as you
walk
enter.
up to him and say, I need to speak with Celine, please.
Well, all right. You can have a seat. I'll be a minute.
Just nod and sit down.
And a minute later, a woman named Celine walks into the waiting room. Can you describe her for me?
She is elven. She appears to be, to human eyes, in her late 40s. Probably blonde hair, tidy, in like a, I guess just like a loose ponytail.
Mhm.
It's probably, I don't know, 5'10" or so. Probably about the same height as Rizwan. And she is, for all appearances, a veterinary doctor.
Let me.
And just as a reminder, my hair is completely covered right now.
Yep.
Wait, we're getting Bert Spade.
No.
Sorry, I legit didn't know what happened. Like, we were all together, but now we don't.
Yes.
So you guys stopped at the inn and then kind of split up to go do some errands.
Oh,
You said you were going to the market. Did you want to go to the market with us?
why am so distracted today? I swear that it was like I have nothing better to do, so let's go together doing each of the things.
Now, I had said that I had an errand to go run and asked who wanted to come with me.
Well, we can retcon that you're there if you like.
I don't mind, but why am I this distracted? I'm so sorry.
Okay. Celine walks over to the two of you and shakes your hand and then shakes Pert's hand and then says, how can I help you? To Pert.
Can we have a word in private?
I was going to say, Pert says it's more of a private matter. We should probably talk somewhere else.
Oh, of course. If you'll just give me a few more minutes to finish up, and then we can fit you in.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Pert is
She then
attempting to
goes
play
over-
the face since Rincewind made it sound like it was his issue.
Yeah. And then she goes over to the woman with the iguana and says, come on in. Let's take a look. And they walk into a back room. You wait for 15 minutes. The woman comes out without the iguana, but doesn't seem terribly distressed about it. Waves to the secretary, and walks out the door. And then Celine comes into the waiting room and says, come on back, you two.
Mm-hmm. And follow her back. And as soon as we are out of, like, behind a door, basically,
Mm-hmm.
I will take the headscarf off.
Okay.
And once we're, I guess, in an office,
Mm-hmm.
my sister said you were someone I could trust. And I look at her significantly.
And who is your sister exactly?
Can I get a sense of if she genuinely doesn't know or if she's just testing me?
Make an insight check. Hard to say.
I will start obviously like not twirling, like you know how you, like, you gather a bunch
Yeah.
of long hair over your shoulder and like
Oh yeah,
twist it
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of.
yeah.
I'll start doing that and say,
Mhm.
she has several names. Alex, perhaps?
Yes. I do know who Alex is. So, how can I be of service, sister of Alex?
Well, we're here in the city hunting someone that was here quite a long time ago, but might have caused a big enough stir to be remembered. And I was hoping you could point me in the right place to ask about that.
Well, how long ago are you thinking?
Well, about 20 years ago, in fact, a prophet of the goddess Bashaba came through here. His name was Andrin, I believe I'm remembering that correctly. And the stir that he might have caused might not even be attached to his name, but wherever these particular prophets go, a string of noticeable luck, either good or bad, seems to follow.
He assumes the thinking position and is quiet for a minute. I can't remember anything catastrophic. Bad stuff happens in the city all the time on a smaller scale. It is quite a large place. And it's very possible that I just didn't hear about it or it didn't register. It has been 20 years. If it has to do with a foreign god, perhaps you may wish to try the four pillars.
The four pillars.
The actually, you can make a history check, Rizwan.
Sure.
This does ring a bell. You're pretty sure that this is like the four gods here. But she explains there are four gods that are generally accepted as the What's the word I'm looking for here?
Like most popular, or something more authoritative, like accepted or acceptable?
Yeah, they are the moral and philosophical foundations of the city. There is Bahamut, the platinum dragon, Ayun, the goddess of knowledge, Shantea, the goddess of fertility, and Talos, god of the storms. Now, the head of the Platinum Army does not reside in Nerona, he resides in Candlekeep. But their temple is still relatively popular here.
How separate is it from the other three?
They are all their own separate entities.
Sorry, I mean physically. Is it all the same building?
Oh,
Different buildings?
no, they're all different buildings.
Okay, that's good. You can understand why, I'm sure.
Perhaps those 4 places might be a good starting point.
Sounds like it. Thank you very much. A slightly more, perhaps, costly question. Is there any little bolt hole that you could offer if needed?
I do know why you're asking this.
Perhaps a second-story crawl space you know of in the area?
There are many, many nooks and hidden passageways and forgotten spaces in this city. I can perhaps give you one, but it does not come with a guarantee that it is completely safe. Nothing in this city is completely safe.
I understand.
She gives you the address of what is basically like an abandoned building, that you could squat in if you need to.
Okay.
She also offers the advice if you are looking for friends or protection, there are places to find that, but generally you have to earn it.
I'm trying to think of a way to phrase it, Jamie, but Pert would just ask if she'd recommend visiting the Proving Ground or if it's a little too active, lively for Risman's taste.
You know about the Proving Ground, huh?
I inquired with a well-meaning chap on a street corner.
Hmm.
Eyebrows. Oh wait, Pert doesn't have eyebrows.
Eye ridges.
Eye ridges. It is a good place to go if you want to make connections or a name for yourself.
That's what I thought. Oh, and by the way, do you have anything to help with this? And Pert just kind of points to one of his gills where the sea salt's been kind of irritating him for about a week now.
Oh dear, let me look at that. She prescribes you a cream.
Rizwin is laughing under her breath.
I mean, you gotta ask if you got access to the person with the knowledge.
Well, I think we have taken up quite enough of your time. I'm very grateful for your assistance, and she will palm it platinum over.
She takes it without blinking. Thank you very much.
And I will excuse us and head out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, market group.
Yo,
Which is everyone else.
I'm gonna go and see if I can find. Actually, that's a question I had for you, Jamie. Would Camille's holy symbol be good enough as a base for that amulet, or
Oh, that's interesting.
because it's supposed to be inscribed with the deity, and he don't got none. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, your holy symbol, like,
Is his family amulet?
yes. Where is this? Oh, here we go. What spell were you looking to enchant it with? Like how
I
high?
think we decided on blessed. It mimic the
Yes.
effects of it.
Yes. Yeah, if you're just gonna do a first level bless, then I think that would be fine.
Okay, then I would just need to go and pick up the reagents,
Mhm.
which I'm assuming are fairly common considering it's crushed gemstone.
Yes. Oh yeah, you can go find. Actually, make me perception, investigation, whatever.
Can I ask around
Yeah, make me a
using
persuasion check.
persuasion?
Yes. So you do indeed find a jewel crafter who is willing to sell you his cast offs, basically.
Mhm.
Hang on. Does anyone remember how much gem dust you need?
Thought it was
I don't remember the value of it now.
100, 150 gold. What was it? It was less than 200.
Okay, let's say 100 then for that 21 persuasion.
Okay. Yeah, that works.
So it's a bunch of like ruby, a little bit of emerald, a little bit of onyx gem dust.
Okay. And level 1 spell is 3 days?
7 days.
7 days, right?
Cantrip's 3 days. Who else is shopping?
Zoe is not there.
Okay.
Cruising around, I don't expect to see some magnificent craft, but see what's around. Do people dabble into magical items or something of high value or stuff like that?
Okay. So you wander around, like you find a pretty big open air market. But it's mostly food, housewares, clothing, rugs, You don't see any magical items looking through it. Make me a perception check. But a couple blocks away, just on the other side of the street from where the jewel crafter is, you do indeed find a shop that basically says curios and magical artifacts.
Ooh. I go in. Hello.
Well, hey there. How can I help you?
I'm looking for something, but I don't know what.
Well, you've come to the right place.
I can see.
She motions to sort of the cabinets that are around the edge and like making aisles through this shop. All, everything is behind glass. And you see, some stones, some rings, some little figurines, all that have like a little label and a price beside them.
God damn it. I cannot read prices. Uh, uh, I guess I'm gonna use detect magic in my fearful magic to
Okay.
see what pops up.
You get 3 pings. And just immediately go around looking at all of that, I assume.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Towards the back of the shop, you see a crooked-looking stick that you believe to be a wand. Got a fancy handle on it.
Okay. Oh, so what this do?
Oh, that I believe they call a wand of the war mage.
The warm mage?
War mage.
Oh, disappointing.
If you can do spells, then it just makes it a little easier to do them, you know?
Huh. And how much is it for it?
Please hold while Jamie looks up prices. If anybody would like to chime in and help me, I would appreciate it.
I got 5
I
eats.
forgot you guys were going shopping.
I'm sorry.
We go
Um,
shopping every session. Just
Yeah.
So a +2 is listed at 4,000.
This is a +1.
I don't know where you guys are looking at.
They basically threw out prices for artifacts in 5e altogether. They were barely a guideline in previous editions.
Yeah.
I see a +1 here is 1,000. That seems like
that's excessive.
I was gonna say it seems kind of low, but
I was going to say, I believe the range recommendation is somewhere between 500 and 1,500, with 1,000
Yeah.
being a very middle.
I would say we'll say like between 500 and 1,500 for try to remember that for uncommon stuff. Given that there are people that do magic in the city, it's probably not as uncommon. So she quotes you a price of 750 gold.
Oh. Okay, okay. That's okay. Uh, Thank you. What's next? What is this next thing?
On the very back wall of the shop, you see a like hanging on the wall is a fan. with beautiful, like, painted birds along the paper part of it. She says, that one there, if you use the fan, it makes a big cloud of wind.
Okay, like a fart machine.
Sure, but better.
I wouldn't even ask for the price. What's the next one?
Not even interested.
Nah.
Um, the next one, you see a scroll case. And she says, well, funny story. We actually don't know what's in there. We can't get it open.
Oh. I mean,
Distantly, you hear
that's
Pert crack fingers.
that's fun for someone, I guess.
Yeah, who knows? It could be a once in a lifetime treasure, or it could be nothing.
It
It
could
could
even
be
be a book.
yours for the cheap, cheap price of 150 gold.
And I do see it as magical, right?
Yes.
Sure, I'll buy it. I'll buy it.
Well, thank you for your patronage.
Not a problem. So, Jamie, after all this conversation with this person,
Uh-huh.
how do I how what's the vibe that I'm getting? Do I feel like an honest person, someone who tried to uh, steal money from people? He makes his own craft? He's just a merchant, stuff like that.
Make an insight check.
Can I trust him? Wow, that's low.
This place seems a little seedy. But she was selling real magical items. There is also a lot of stuff in here that is just like, cool little statues,
I guess
jewel
while we
dagger, stuff like that.
while we're talking, does he try to sell me something that is magical and it's not?
Um, no. And with your 15, you think you might have kind of like blown by going to the very obviously 3 magical things in the shop without looking at anything else, you've kind of blown your cover.
Okay. Mm,
Although she does try to sell you a little statue of like a black dog.
no. I guess that would be it
2
for
gold.
me. Thank you. No, thank you.
You're
I don't like
lost.
dogs. I don't like dogs, and I have a cat who will get angry.
I don't have any cats. I do have an otter.
What? Another as a statue?
And she pulls out a little. This one is like a gray marble, but it is like a little, like an otter standing on its hind legs.
God damn it, that's so goddamn cute. How much?
2 gold.
Sure, fire doesn't know coins. I'll say okay. The other person will bargain, but yeah,
Well,
okay.
I hope he brings you luck.
Thank you. I think that'll be it though. Thank you, bye.
Have a nice day.
Go with my things.
Zoe. What are you up to? Hi.
Sorry, back.
Welcome back. What's Zoe up to?
Zoe went up to rooftops and is exploring around the city up there like she always does.
Okay.
Be a
Looking for
lot better
anything
if
in
she.
particular?
I mean, she's actively keeping an eye out for anybody she recognizes from the children, but mostly just kind of exploring.
Okay. Make a perception check. The roofs are easily walkable in this city. They're mostly flat. Which is nice, except that there are a lot of people that use their roofs. You see a lot of laundry hanging on the roofs. A few rooftop gardens. A few rooftop patios.
Does she find some rooftop sunbathers?
Mm-hmm.
Awkward. If need be, she will teleport past things to make it less awkward.
Yeah, you teleport past the naked sunbathers.
Does she find anything interesting or just learn more about the city?
I think you just learn more about the city with a 13. You find a few vegetable gardens.
Any plants she doesn't recognize? Or is it still too early in the season to tell what they are?
It's probably, well, no, it's pretty hot here. Does Zoe know her vegetables? Oh, no, you know what you find? You find a garden, with like 3 cats just sitting beside this like one plant. That smells a little like mintish.
She found catnip.
Mm-hmm.
Are all the cats exceedingly acceptable to being petted?
Oh yeah, these cats are very happy for the attention.
So he gets distracted and just pets cats for a while.
Yep.
Play D&D for the excitement and adventures, like going and shopping, going to a library,
Yeah.
and petting cats.
You say this like it's a bad thing.
Was there anything Emma wanted to do?
I can't really think of anything offhand.
So after your individual excursions, you meet back up around dinner time. Is there anything else you would like to do before the day is out?
No, I've faffed enough.
I let everyone know. Oh, sorry, gonna say something?
I was just going to say that I do have plans for the night.
Yes.
Pert will attempt to discuss with Kamale about whether or not it's worth going to the proving ground just to make our appearance, or if we should just try to stay off the radar of everyone.
I think we should stay off the radar and get out of the city. I think information we want might be found elsewhere.
My
And
con-
information and staying here to get information is not worth the risk for Rizwan.
My concern is just certain groups may come looking for information if we don't show up.
Like what?
If the city has an active enough thieves guild to have established, it's quite likely they may be working with information brokers or acting as information brokers to the gods and the churches.
And they would have seen us and a woman in a headband and a blade.
Yes, a unknown holy man, a human with weird horns, and
If that's the case, Bert, the damage has already been done because it's been a day.
yeah. I'm just thinking. I agree
I
that
mean,
hopefully
if you want
they
to go investigate it, by all means, but I don't see the long-term benefit of it.
we'll see if we're in the city again after today.
When are we planning on leaving?
Basically, after we meet up with Alan.
I have one more stop I want to make in the morning.
All right.
So, is this our last night here?
Yes.
Oh. Mm, okay. Thought we had more time. Zoe, I bought you a gift.
Hey?
This is a scroll of, I don't know, secrets. Someone said that this is scroll that no one knows what to use it for. It's magic though, so it has something in it. So I thought you will have fun cracking in it.
So he pulls out her pearl and her maracas and ritual casts identify on the scroll.
That's not my definition of fun, but sure.
Hang on a second.
Was I just supposed to cast the spell without knowing what it was?
No, you can't even you can't get to the scroll. The scroll case is locked. Yeah, one object that you must touch through the casting of the spell. So it's a scroll case.
Sorry, as I said, I had to step away for a minute. I missed that entire conversation.
Okay.
Don't worry, I was there and I also missed it. Conversation, I mean.
So if you want out that scroll, you gotta find a way to open that scroll case.
Is it locked or magically locked?
It is locked.
She brings it to Pert.
Ooh, a puzzle? Pert begins examining the scroll to see if it's a puzzle box.
scroll case.
Yes, but it might be a puzzle. Let's see here. Is it actually just a like a key style lock, or is it a sliding puzzle lock, or?
Make an investigation check.
Huzzah! Apparently today's a day of ones.
Jesus Christ, David.
Yeah, it's like my third one today.
So it is a very, like, it is just a lock, but it is a very delicate lock. And through your examination, there does seem to be like a fail-safe mechanism where, like, if you try to pick it and you fuck up a lot, there is a mechanism that will, like, basically break the lock permanently, so it will be permanently closed.
Zoe, do you or Camille have that magic that makes the hands steadier and the eye sharper?
Hmm?
Enhanced ability.
No.
No.
Okay. This is a sensitive one. I'm gonna need to take some time. Rizwin, do you have your eyepiece?
Like part of the jeweler's tools?
Yes.
She does not. It is locked away in subspace.
Zoe gently pats Bert on the shoulder. No, I know you got this, and gives him guidance.
It's a D4, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I'll turn off advantage. Guidance, precision, thieves tool. That's my fourth natural one.
What is that, 28?
Fuck.
28.
That is not enough. But it is enough to not break it.
I think I need to leave this until tomorrow. It's just too finicky.
I can
Did
have
you
it in
get
the
it?
house. Mhm.
Pert, did you get into my container of boundless coffee, which I don't remember getting?
No, I think it's just this scaling on my gills.
Took it from the goblins.
That's right. I said it was a bad idea for them to have caffeine.
I think the numbing effect of this lotion she's given me has just dulled my senses. And Pert will return the sealed case for now and go lie down until his lungs feel better.
So, just so you're aware, the DC is 30. If you roll lower than a 25, so 24 or under, the lock is broken forever.
That's a very high DC.
Yep.
So there's a 2 in 20 chance that I break it without guidance.
And there's a 1 in 20 something chance. I don't know the math because there's a D4 and a D20 together, and that makes it weird. Chance that you can break it with guidance.
I can have enhanced ability tomorrow.
If you could, this gill rash has got me off my game.
So, did anyone find a, I'm gonna say, reputable magic like store that sells magic stuff? I was thinking about what you talked, Rizwan, the other day, and if this city is more cool with magic, we could start selling things here. But I didn't trust the last person I met here, so I don't know. I'm looking someplace.
We also don't stick around long.
Yeah, but I can travel back. Like if I can have a good person to hang out with, like I can make stuff and come back one every couple months with new cargo or stuff like that.
I've been searching for other things.
Well, if you guys find anything remotely useful on that end, let me know. Okay.
Keep my eye out.
Is there anything else you would like to do tonight?
Nope.
So are we seriously gonna go without trying that? What was it called again?
The
Like,
proving ground?
yeah, the proving ground.
I'm not stopping people from going. Kamil just said what he thinks is right. What he believes. If people want to go, he's not stopping them to go tonight. He's warning. The more we go out and expose ourselves, the more likely it is potentially bad things will happen. Being very cautious about this.
Okay.
He's gonna love what Rizwan asked him to do in the morning then.
I was going to say Pert's probably going to go to the library at some point, but he's going to take a watch shift tonight just to make sure no one's watching the bed and breakfast.
Also, if people explain why they're going, that might make more sense to them, but we have a tendency to not do that in this group.
I raise my hand.
Yes.
You plan to go to the testing ground? I don't know. Maybe tonight.
Okay. Be safe.
Thank you.
So Fire's just gonna go to the proving ground by himself?
If no one wants to go with him. That sounds like fun. I'm being stuck in a ship for 4 weeks.
What is the proving ground?
No one
I have
knows.
no one knows.
Y'all don't even know where it is.
I mean, Pert probably has a rough guesstimate, but yeah. You going to go ask him, Fire?
Yes, my plan was when I like, okay, I'm going. Go to Perth. Where am I going?
You also got to keep in mind, I'm just playing it up that Kamil's getting impatient because he wants answers.
Mhm.
This constant blah, 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 blah stuff is driving him up the wall.
I
Him,
understand.
not me. Him.
I understand. I also don't want above the table talk. At fear of fuffing too much, I don't want to make the mistake we made previously of like,
Rushing?
yeah, speed running the content that our DM created.
Pert will roll over in bed when Fire asks, kind of look over Fire for a moment and go, let's go together.
Okay.
Throws
Given that
back
it's
on a...
cold,
Sorry?
given that it's cold, oh my god, this is such a bad idea. God damn it, why? Do I take my armor or not?
You could bring the armor armor holder.
So you want to come with me
Where are we going?
to the testing grounds
Proving
In the
grounds,
proving
goddammit.
ground?
to test some
I
ground?
was about to say that Jamie in character. Sure, let's go.
Yay!
Hearing all this, Kyle just sighs and buckles his sword on.
Rizwin's gonna save her stupidity for tomorrow.
So, who's all going?
It
the
sounds
four
like
of
it's the four of us
Okay.
unless Melis and Amma are coming along. But if Melis is a good pillow for Rizwin's worries tonight, that would make sense.
What am I want to do?
Ah,
Oh no, did Zoe bring back some of the catnip?
Yes.
I assume it hasn't been presented so far.
Definitely was.
how about we probably stay with Melis?
Melis right now.
Can only imagine how dangerous a high displacer beast is.
She also gave some to fire, so you could grow it with the mushrooms.
Ooh. So is Ama and Rizwin staying?
Yes, sounds like it.
Okay.
So where are you going?
So with the instructions from the guy from the Thieves Guild, Pert
He did
has
not give you instructions.
yeah, Pert has a guess that it's in this direction. Because it was definitely in that direction. So
Based on what?
So what I'm understanding is Pert is saying, given that direction that was given, and we're gonna go in that direction, taking it out of his ass or something.
more of he was talking about this area of town, so it's got to be within these 20 square blocks or whatever.
Okay.
So he doesn't know where it is. He just knows it's somewhere in this region of the city. Something reference to the Prohibition era bars. Circled the block, just seeing if there's any obvious signs before actually bothering anyone.
Here, make me a perception check.
Sure, let's see if Pert's still off his A game.
Okay. I was about to be really worried about roll 20.
Yeah, if I got 3 ones in a row, that would have been...
A 2 instead. So, wandering around, you are able to pick out a few bars. You do see one that is called the Swallow. But you do not see any that are called the Proving Grounds.
And any eyes?
Like Ioun eyes? Or Thieves Guild eyes?
Thieves Guild eyes, or obvious out-of-place, guards, or people hanging out that are oddly out of place.
Not particularly.
And no, thieves can't emblems carved into the side of a building or anything kind of giving hints?
You do see a few like thieves' cant symbols on some buildings, mostly like, you know, safe, cheat, stuff like that. Nothing about any kind of proving grounds or this way to super secret bar.
And what if we ask someone?
Yes.
That was
Zoe was already on the way to go to just walk up to somebody and be like, "Hello, could you tell me where the proving grounds are?"
What kind of person do you walk up to?
what if the bar owner of the Swallow?
Mm, yeah, I think. How far was it back to the? No, she wouldn't go walk up to the Swallow. You don't walk up to somebody else's bar and be like, "Hey, where's this other bar?"
I don't know if it's a bar.
How far away from the not inn but bread and breakfast coffee
Mhm.
shop are we? Have we wandered?
By the time you like do a big loop, like a big loop de loop, and get back pretty close to the coffee shop before you're like, yeah, we can't find this place.
She goes and asks the quote unquote innkeeper.
Okay. Yeah, there's an older woman who's doing the nightly upkeep. Who make a persuasion check. She gives you a bit of a funny look as you ask for the proving grounds.
Gotta love the rolls today.
No kidding, you guys. She gives you like a bit of a sort of patronizing. I don't think that's really the sort of place a nice young girl like yourself should be going. It's certainly not anything I would know about.
No. See, is my friend for misspoke. Is the testing ground. We want to test some grounds.
So he just pulls her leg back and kicks him in the shin.
Afraid I don't know much about testing grounds either. Sorry.
He gets confused sometimes. No, it's the proving grounds, and it's not for myself. It's for my friend over there. She points at Pert. He is a very skilled. Let's put it this way: he would be the one proving himself at the grounds. So it's not for me. He's just he's not good with people. I'm just
Hmm.
asking for him. Pert, do something that would make it seem like you're more the type, so that I can maybe get advantage.
Pert has one palm just resting on the blade of his rapier, and when he notices Zoe's talking to the coffee lady, he just kind of smiles a little bit and idly moves his fingers over a set of fine tooth combs that weren't in his palm a moment earlier. You know, the metal kind of combs for a key lock.
Mm.
So we have. I just realized we missed it on the conversation, but we have Camille with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's just hanging back, making sure no one robs you all.
We've got the
The dad.
duelist, the fencer, the big happy guy, and the kid that wants to go to the adult bar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Camille's not much of a duelist. He's the I'm gonna smash my shield in your face and then stab you.
No, you're the heavy. Pert's the duelist.
She looks at Pert and then Camille and Pert and Camille. Well, right, look, you didn't hear this from me. If you want to be participating, then you're gonna need an invitation. Maybe maybe some holy help can get you one, if you know what I mean.
Pert will just nod when it's clear what she's saying, to him at least, and slide a silver into her palm. Appreciated with the knowledge.
We need to stop bribing everyone.
It's his money.
It's a silver.
I will nod as if I understood, while not understanding anything.
So, after we turn away from her, Chamie, you said the four gods were the Bahamut. Let me just look here again. We've got it written down over here. Bahamut, Ayun, Kanata, and Talus. What is Kanata and Talus? Talus is
Shantea.
Shantea.
Harvest god.
Yeah, Shantea is a harvest god and a fertility god. Talos is... Actually, make a religion check.
Sure. I have absolute faith in that ability.
You know that Talos is considered the god of storms.
If you want to continue this line of inquiry fire now that we're away from the people, Pert will say quietly under his breath, we need to either look into the harvest god or the storms god. I don't think we're comfortable going into the Bahamut temple. And while I wouldn't mind looking into Ayun, I don't think the knowledge god would have anything to do with underground fighting rings or thieves' guilds. I could be misunderstanding, though. I'm not really well studied on my religions.
This is so much work.
I just start walking towards the temples.
I've followed Kamal.
That's where we're supposed to go, right?
That's the indication, yes. It's how I read the hint.
Which temple you going to?
Not Bahamut.
Okay.
Storms. Storm seems more likely to be forthcoming with a potentially violent underground fight ring. Seems like this is what it's turning into.
Okay. I assume you have to ask for directions.
Yep.
Okay. So in the south of town, you find the Temple of Talos. And it is a pretty small temple. Not the sort of large, like, grandiose type buildings that you're used to seeing, especially in Marielda. This looks more like a community church. It is open, even though the sun has fully set and it is getting pretty dark out. You walk in and it is just a one-room stone building with nowhere to sit, no offices from what you can see, just an altar in front of a stone statue of an imposing a giant-like figure holding a hammer above his head. It is empty, except for a young man in armor who is just casually leaning against the wall of like the outside wall, so that when you walk in it looks completely empty, and then he clears his throat and you turn around and see him just standing there.
Judging, like, is he young, brash, arrogant, haughty, meek, studied, humble? Like, what's his demeanor?
He's very well built. He is wearing kind of like leather armor that has a symbol of 3 lightning bolts on emblazoned on the front. He's got a pretty
Hello.
nasty scar on his eyebrow that makes it droop a little bit.
I look at Bert. Do you want to talk to him, or do you want me to?
So pulling his cloak back enough so the daggers of lightning are faintly visible, Pert will wander closer, nodding to Camille, before introducing himself only to the man, and simply saying, I was wondering if there was a chance you might be able to help enlighten me on a invitation to the proving grounds.
Um, he has a bit of a grin on his face. Very much like, oh yeah, straight to business, I see.
I mean, sometimes it's worth it just to be honest when a situation calls for speed and precision.
And what exactly do you have to prove, stranger?
In my case, I'd like to prove the deftness of my blade and the Pert kind of makes a hand gesture, flexibility of my palm.
Hmm. And your friends?
The large simply wants to see what's all of the rage, and the small one is trying to keep him out of trouble, and the heavy is trying to keep both of them out of trouble.
And you.
Pert's trying to sell it as he's the adventurous braggart duelist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's, sizing you up. And says, where are you from?
Pert will say Marialda, the Dalkin home city.
Hmm.
It's a fascinating difference in societies, but it seems like dueling is a art form almost all cultures seem to appreciate.
Well, you got that right. He takes another moment and gives you a nod, and he pulls a card out of out of a pocket, like inside his armor, like a breast pocket. And before he hands it to you, he says, now you better be respecting the sanctity of our traditions.
And Pert nods both to say, of course, but also, trying to indicate if there's any specific rules in those he'd love to know more.
Hmm.
As
We'll
in,
let you know when you get there. It's always a good day when you're spilling foreign blood. And he gives you the card.
is there any kind of seeming motion of his hand or whatever as if he's expecting something in exchange? I guess that's an insight, isn't it?
Yeah, make an insight.
Hey, I rolled above a 10.
Holy shit. No, there isn't. And looking, or addressing the other three, he says, Gawkin is a silver piece. That's outside of any betting you might want to do. But participation is always free. He's looking at Kamale.
Pert grins a little bit. Well, of course. You pay in blood.
Mm-hmm.
I raise my hand.
Hmm?
How strict are the rules of this? Is magic allowed?
Anyone can fight. No matter what your skills, as long as you obey the rules.
What are the
And what
rules?
are the rules?
While they have him distracted, Pert checks the card to make sure there's directions.
There is indeed directions.
Okay.
It is not like, it is a handwritten card.
Well, of course, that way they can move it every week.
Yeah. And that's something that Pert would expect. Like, this is not something like this, it moves around. Well, some fights have no weapons, no magic rules, just old-fashioned fisticuffs. Some fights are anything goes except death. You can fight in pairs, as a group.
Oh, this sounds like fun. I want in.
Show up tomorrow, and we'll do a placement for you.
Tomorrow evening or tomorrow during the day?
Tomorrow evening.
Look at Camille with puppy eyes.
I pull. No, I'll wait until after we leave.
Okay.
As I said, he's trying to keep the children out of trouble. And Pert laughs warmly and throws an arm around Fire's shoulder, guiding him out of the temple. He does leave a small offering in the temple's coin jar if there is one.
Yep, there is.
So he just tosses 2 silver in. After all, he's got lightning daggers. He'd better respect the god of storms or he might get bit.
Right. So you exit the temple.
Yep. And Pert says, so it's currently located at X for the next, 3 days. So if we're still in town tomorrow, it's an option.
What do you hope to get out of this, explicitly?
Myself, I was trying to get a show for my friends, but only because I thought it was important enough to go have a look.
So
Pert's cocky attitude has evaporated the second they were out of line of sight.
So there's no reason to go to this other than
Have fun.
If nothing else comes up, it's a option to stress relief if you're interested in that.
Pert, you were when the first time you heard about the proving grounds, I just want to make sure that this is clear. The person you talked to said, like, if it is information, like real information you are looking for, or real connections you are looking for, this is the place to go.
I read it, and I believe Pert read it as, this is where the Thieves Guild does real business, not not just that it's also a fighting arena and.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking, this is above table, I'm asking to enable us to go there if we want to, but Camille needs a reason, not just fun. He has something he's desperately trying to figure out, and delays are frustrating him.
I think Fire wouldn't have any other argument besides sounds fun, but if we get Pert to say something about real information, might interested Kamel.
Pert will offer the 2 points in character, phrasing aside, basically saying, look, it's an opportunity to vent frustration after a month on the boat, and if we have a good fight, we might curry favor with someone who's willing to broker information if we need more information.
Okay.
If there's no information...
That's what I'm trying to get is, what information do we want?
If there's no information we can gather or need to gather, then it's a side adventure that doesn't need to happen today.
And that's what I'm trying to, I don't want to just cut this off. I'm trying to encourage everyone to participate in what do we want to get out of this.
Yeah, and I don't have anything is what I'm saying. At least not at this moment.
We could find it. I wouldn't mind finding out why the children are in the city before they make a mess of a third,
That's
fourth,
a good one.
fifth, sixth, seventh.
Actually,
city?
that's a good point. See, we could do a side peek to try to find out if there's any known activity by the children with power brokers.
Okay. And I suggest we also see if they have information on these celestial cats and not the one that
Sorry, celestial cats.
The giant 3 times the size of normal cats.
Oh yeah, I know of them. I don't know if Fire knows of them.
No, they've been discussed.
Ah.
Okay. Then that in Camille's mind is enough reason to go. Provided Rizwan is okay with it, considering we're putting her at risk by staying safe. So it's something that he would run by Rizwan.
I mean, she's not there, so she can't weigh in, but
You can go back to the hotel and talk about. Or
that's what I just.
She will be fine with it. Things that she's not directly involved with, she'll just hide out in the hotel room, and she's gonna do something that you all will probably consider stupid tomorrow morning anyway. So.
Okay.
We're the party of doing stupid things.
Sorry, I wanted to not just maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. I wanted to push us in a direction.
That's a good spirit.
Okay, so the night comes. Now, Ty, you said you have to go, right?
I have to leave soon. I do have time to do my dream if you have time.
Okay. I would say if everybody is okay with it, we'll do the dream and any other nighttime activities and then leave it there and pick up with that the next day, next week.
Okay.
Sounds rational. Pert's only nighttime activity is taking a turn on watch just to make sure the coffee house isn't being watched.
Mm-hmm.
And this night
actually, wait, no, I changed my mind. We are going to have to go a little farther than that, Ty, so that I know what to prep for next week.
As long as we are done by 8.
Okay. It's a dream, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay. Who are you going to dream?
Anna.
Okay. What is You are safe, DC. Actually, I'm gonna make this roll and then I'm gonna take a quick pre-break before we do the dream.
Good thinking.
I rolled
It's
an 11.
7.
She does not save.
No.
Okay.
Taking a phone call and be like, hey, can you do this? It's like, yeah, sure, I can do this. Okay, we'll call you right back with the details. I'm laying there trying to go back to sleep. Oh, fuck, it's D&D tonight. There's a reason you don't agree to things 5 seconds after you wake up.
Yeah, bodies are bullshit and brains take forever to turn on.
Back in a minute.
Agreed.
So what does Melis get into while high on the catnip?
Everything.
Is she just or he just drooling over the pillow she stole from Zoe's home? Like just kneading biscuits into it?
I'm assuming he didn't steal the salted fish that Pert's saving to make into rations.
He's probably just rubbing up against everything.
Yeah, that was thinking.
So there's just a faint black discoloration to the corners of literally everything in the room.
I'm back.
Back.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Hello. Are we waiting on anybody? Nibbles?
Yeah.
Mist?
I think we're good.
Meh.
We were talking
Uh,
about how Melis was rubbing his shoulder against literally everything in the room.
mm-hmm. Okay. Ty, you there?
Yarp.
Okay. So where would you like the dream to occur?
The bar. She wants it to be at the House of Poppin'.
Okay. So shortly after you dream into this this bar that has quickly become I guess a treasured place. Anna appears, looks around a bit confused.
Zoe makes sure there's the usual tea and snacks on the table. Gives her a wave. Hi, Anna.
Oh, Zoe. Am I dreaming?
We've done this before.
You have?
Have you?
Didn't we?
No.
Oh, she succeeded to keep Zoe out, didn't she?
I think so, yeah. I rolled really well.
Something like that. Well, you're dreaming. I am kind of invited you into my own.
That's pretty incredible. Not that I would expect less from you. She sits down. You look well.
Where are we in Marielda? I
You're
forget the name
Lita.
of this. Lita? God
Yeah.
damn. We're in Marielda. No, Marielda, I'm so awful with names.
You're an insane.
No. Actual outside the dream.
Oh,
Neurona.
you're in.
Neurona.
Okay, you're in Neurona.
How's Neurona treating you?
She kind of sits up a little straighter and like smooths out her dress. It's been nice. It's quite warm here. It's quite different.
It's a very bright place, isn't it, compared to Blackcaster?
Mm-hmm. How did you know I was? Oh, dream, right?
I keep tracks on people I think are important.
Well, I'm not very important.
I disagree with you. I don't agree with what you're doing, but I think you're an important person. I'd love to know what you are doing over there.
I'm just running some errands.
Zoe gives her the look.
She looks a little nervous, but doesn't refute it.
And the errands are still for the children?
I'm guessing that you're not that you don't you still don't see eye to eye with us.
I'm going to have a hard time ever seeing eye to eye with an organization that kidnapped me and made it very clear that my life was going to be handed up to someone else as God. So yes, I'm going to not see eye to eye with you. But I do think you are doing the best.
She looks down at the tea that she seems to have forgotten she didn't even pour. It is. I am sad about what happened to you what you had to go through. Our work is very important. I do believe that, but I I've done some thinking, and I guess I can understand why you might not feel like that.
Zoe reaches out and gently tries to hold her hands.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to know that we did not kill him. We were going to take him in. Someone else dangerous out there shot him.
She squeezes your hand, and even though it's a dream, she kind of like looks to the left and the right subconsciously, and then says, I know.
Do you know who did it?
Yeah.
Do you know that
Can we talk about something else?
she gives a little nod? No, this is a safe place. Nobody else could find us here. Are you safe?
Yes.
Insight check?
Make an insight check.
Oh, she must be the safest person ever.
Mm.
She gave a little nod and smiled. That's good to hear. Have you learned any new magic?
A little. I've been working really hard. It the the things that we can do are it's really incredible.
I think Zoe geeks out a little bit at this and just asks her to tell her more.
Make a persuasion check.
Come on, dice. God damn it.
Still not too bad.
Yes, but that's a 2 roll of a 2.
Yeah. It's everyone is having a bad night, apparently. She lets slip that she's been working on learning how to scry, not through her own power. She can't do that yet, but through an item that was given to her.
Do you know who made the item?
I don't. Ezra got a hold of it. I don't know if he made it or found someone else who did.
Zoe looks a little worried. And have you found it easy to work with it?
wouldn't say it's easy. Well, the magic is easy. Using it well is not easy. Trying to find what you want to find isn't always easy.
What are you looking for?
I don't think I should say.
I'd love to see what it is sometime. I managed to make a flying broom.
Really? You geek out a little bit about the broom. Do you have any other particular questions for her?
Nothing specific, though I do think she asks at some point if Anna would like to get tea outside of this dream universe at some point.
You're in Nerona, aren't you?
I can move around with a lot of ease at this point.
Maybe after my work is done, maybe I could stay in the city for a little while.
Zoe specifically has to ask, will this work hurt people?
It'll help a lot more.
That's
And she doesn't look at you when she says it.
Are you going to be able to look at yourself in the mirror if what you do hurts people?
She fiddles with her teacup. You're a really good person, Zoe.
And I think you are too. I think you're letting people use your abilities for bad. And I've hurt people and I had to face up to that. And it's not pleasant, and I don't want you to have to go through the same thing. Also, is she calling Zoe Zoe? Is she calling Zoe Abigail?
I think she's calling you Zoe, because that was what you wanted to be called. I guess I'll see you around.
Some other time for tea.
Yeah.
Is there any place you'd like to see next time?
You can pick. Zoe, you should be careful in Nerona.
What should I be careful of?
Just stay away from the Platinum Army.
Well, no shit. She says that a little more elegantly, but it still has the same
I
tone.
mean, Anna giggles a little bit.
You know, you need to do the same with them.
Yeah.
She adds one last detail. I found someone kind of like myself.
You did?
He was a lot bigger, and there was a lot of differences, but I think people kept thinking I was his kid.
Oh. Did they just see the horns and assume?
Most likely.
Yeah.
She gets up, walks around the table, gives Anna a hug, and lets the dream drop.
Okay.
How do I get through to these kids?
She definitely seemed less sure of herself than the last time you talked to her.
If I see her in the city, there's gonna be some drama.
Yeah, like chiming in, that voice is very different of last time we hear her, right?
Yeah.
I'm not there, but as a player.
Maybe realizing you're working for a mass murdering psychopath is changing people.
Yeah, well, yelling at somebody you're working for a mass murdering psychopath tends to make people double down.
Is there anything else anybody wanted to do during the night?
How many eyes are on the hotel when Pert takes a turn at night watch?
None.
I don't believe you, but Pert will make note of, okay, no obvious people following us.
Mm-hmm. None that you can see any from where you are, anyways.
Well, I mean, I only have blind sight, so I can't see anything 5 feet away from me.
Mm-hmm. So the next day arrives. What would you like to do?
Hey, Camille, can I speak with you?
Yes.
We go off somewhere private away from anybody that could overhear us.
Okay.
I need somebody's help, and I think you might be the best suited. I need to inquire at the temples about our my quarry.
Shaba?
She says the name, but I've already Andrin. She says Andrin.
Andrin. Alright, say less. Let's go.
Okay. Is that something we do today?
Yes.
Okay.
Your DM says yes. Is everybody going, or is it just Camille and Rizwan?
would like it to just be Camille. He's the holy man, and fewer people draws less attention.
On the plus side, Camille has insight on one of the 4 temples.
I do. Is Rizwin aware that y'all went there last night?
Yeah, we discussed it.
Okay. Let's start with Talos then, I guess.
I was gonna say Talus or Bahamut get the painful one out of the way.
No, we're not going to Bahamut.
Not at all?
No.
Okay.
She wants to know. She doesn't want to know that bad. You can go there by yourself if you want. She wouldn't stop you from doing that. She might even ask you to, in fact.
He will. 100%. Like, he's no reason to hide himself.
Okay, so the 2 of you are going to the Temple of Talos.
Yes.
Okay.
Same situation. She's actually not even wearing armor or any visible weapons now. Her hair is wrapped up again. She is trying to be as meek and unassuming as she can be in Camille's presence, perhaps appearing to be some sort of assistant or, something like that.
Did she borrow Pert's diary?
Nah, I don't think she'd think that far into it.
Especially because that would make us want to follow.
So you go to the Temple of Talos. There are only a couple of people in this one roomed temple. Where the fuck are my notes? A couple of people paying their respects, dropping some money in the little slot near the feet of the very large god statue.
Assuming that there's somebody that looks like we might want to talk to that would notice, I would do the same thing.
Yes, you do pretty
gold.
easily pick out not the same person that Camille talked to last night, but another older man wearing the same sort of armor with the same symbol.
I would wait for Camille to make introductions, but begin the conversation, I guess.
Would we discuss? Do you want Camille to be as open as possible about who and what he is?
Yeah. The idea is to gain some common ground with your holiness.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess he would just introduce himself as, his full title, Gamel Gushiel, a paladin of Narcom, seeking wisdom and information from the acolytes of Talos.
Oh, well, if you're looking for wisdom, this is the wrong place.
What about information?
Yeah, we got a little bit of. But you gotta pay for it.
How much?
Rizwin is already handing over 2 gold.
Oh, no, you misunderstand.
Or rather, what's the price?
Yeah, just kind of
Talos,
waiting at this point.
god of the storms, favors the strong and the bold. And if you think that you might be of that caliber, perhaps you should go and prove it.
You talking about a certain ground where one proves themselves?
Ah, so I see you've already heard the pitch.
You could say that.
Well, if you are looking for information from any followers of Talos, that is where you should start.
Understood. is making as if to leave at this point. She's not going to push it any further. I don't know what Camille does.
I think he just nods respectfully, but definitely takes the position of you are lower in the only social totem pole than I am by several orders of magnitude.
Okay.
Shantia?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So you head to the very opposite end of town. Yeah, it's a long walk. It's a very sprawling city. You come to the Temple of Shantea. The building faintly reminds you of the courtyards in the underwater Celestial Palace. There's this long corridor with adjoining rooms that outline this large square garden in the center of the temple. Acolytes tend to the garden absent of shoes, while a few people partake in its beauty. Gentle harp music floats through the air underneath the giggling and cooing of a baby.
Like,
There you see like a young family.
okay.
A woman holding a baby, and another woman holding the hand of like maybe a 3-year-old.
I briefly had visions of like 2001 or something.
No.
Or cherubs.
There's just actually a family with a baby enjoying the garden.
Am I able to notice the absence of shoes, like, as we're walking in or before we walk in?
Yeah, there is like a little shoe rack beside the entrance to the garden.
I will remove my boots, and if Camille is not picking up on it, suggest that he does the same.
Well, he does. It just takes him a lot longer considering.
Yeah. You have to leave your shoes, your like boots beside the rack, like they won't fit in any of the cubbies.
To keep up the illusion of that I'm trying to project, I will actually like do that for Camille.
Okay.
And same thing, if there's a collection box, the gold goes in.
There is no collection box here. At least not one that you can easily see.
Okay. And we look for somebody who looks important.
You do notice that there are a few people who are wearing the same sort of uniform, this like an earthy green shirt and brown pants. Looks very basic.
Same thing, asking Camille to do the conversation breaker.
I'll just kind of the same thing, hoping to speak to the head acolyte or whoever's.
The woman you're speaking to nods and says, "Well, Tender Rosemary is here today if you would like to speak with her."
Nod and ask them to lead on.
Okay. She leads you through like a little pathway through the garden. You have to like duck a little bit to get under these like ginormous sunflowers that have started growing over the path. Tender Rosemary is a short, kind of plump, middle-aged woman with a long braid flipped over her shoulder. She's wearing the same earthy, muted colors as all the other acolytes. Just by looking, you wouldn't be able to tell that she held a special place here. But she smiles and even like bows a little bit to you as you walk up to her.
Turn the bow.
Yep.
Well, welcome, visitors. How can I help you?
Again, just to go through the spiel again. We were hoping perhaps some information or enlightenment on. I guess lack of a better term would be a quest we're on.
Well, any information I have, I'd be happy to provide.
So at that point, I will step forward and speak
Mhm.
quietly, but not like obviously whispering. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm being sneaky, but I'm not being obviously sneaky.
Yeah.
I am pursuing a servant of the goddess Bashaba. And I'd pause for a moment to see if there's any recognition there.
She politely nods and waits for you to go on. You don't see any recognition in her face.
The prophet Andrin is said to have been in this city approximately 20 years ago, and while I don't expect there to be any knowledge of a name, in his wake there would have been likely a large change of fortune, for good or ill, to those around him that would have been obvious to anyone who is familiar with the divine magics.
I see. Well, I've only had my position for a decade or so. I can't say I remember this fellow. We can take a look through our records, though, if you'd like. Perhaps if he came this way, the tender before me might have marked it down.
I would be very grateful.
She leads you back through the garden to the shoe rack, making, polite chit chat as she does. How have you been enjoying our fine city thus far?
I have never seen it before. It is oddly welcoming, I found an old family friend.
Oh, well, that's nice. And asks, where are you from, all that stuff. You spend like an hour with this woman going through these old handwritten records that smell like mildew. There's definitely some water damage here. Trying to find there is no mention of anyone named Andrin. There is some writings about a fire in this like the south end of the docks that occurred 20 years ago that was really only notable in the fact that it was extinguished by a real nasty tsunami wave.
Was there any mention of the seas being incredibly calm before the tsunami showed up?
Yeah, oh yeah, just like a rogue wave out of nowhere, came in and saved the day, crashed over this fire that could have destroyed the entire docks.
Rizwin would mention out loud that sounds exactly like the sort of thing that I'm looking for.
Well, I wish I had more on it. I'm sorry.
Well,
Perhaps you could go ask the followers of Talos. This seems more like his department than mine.
we are in the progress of getting their attention.
Mm-hmm. They can be a bit persnickety.
Perhaps any knowledge of the docks themselves? Do you know anybody there that I could speak to that may have been present?
20 years is a long time for a lot of us. You could try. The city might have records. Or you could speak to the Temple of Ayun. They are often where all the old records of the city go to be kept.
Temple of Ayun was my next stop, in fact.
Mm.
Where would I go to speak to somebody who holds records for the city?
She gives you the address of City Hall.
All right. I don't think I have anything more specific to say. I maintain the conversation long enough to be polite.
Mm-hmm.
2 notes. At some point, I would note how that I didn't notice an offering box around anywhere, and kind of imply, like, is there some way to repay the assistance here? And the other thing is, I would not lie exactly about where I'm from, but I would only give, the past 10 years of history, not all the way back to being from Vogel.
So Rosemary tells you that all of the food, like, they are paid a cut basically of all of the food that is grown because they spend a lot of time caring for the fields and basically increasing crop yields. I'm not even gonna make you roll, Camille. You're pretty sure that this is a cleric.
I can't make any promises, but I would at least, because I saw Fire do it at the Werewolf Village, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could ask a friend of mine to stop by and perhaps lend I don't know how she would phrase it, a natural magic spell is what I'm saying. I don't know what she would actually say to help with that.
The term, like, we know of druids existing, right?
Sure. Yeah, I could just say I could ask my druid friend to stop by
Mm-hmm.
and see if he could help.
Well, that would be lovely. Thank you.
Is there anything I could do before I leave?
No. You both go on and have fun. Enjoy the city while you're here. Can't all be business.
Mizun smiles at that. I'm getting on the surface here a very pleasant and affable vibe. Can I just do a sort of general deeper vibe check?
Yeah. Roll insight. Roll vibe check. Yeah, this is a pretty chill, pretty friendly place.
Okay. That's good.
Well, I'll say farewell as an equal and, wish her my blessings on her. Blah, blah, blah.
To Ayun.
Basically, he's matching the energy people give him.
Yeah.
The Talos guy was a bit rough and tumble and all that, and she's more even-footed in that sense.
So the Temple of Ayun is located on the westernmost edge of the mainland university campus.
Could I have a moment? I'm going to just listen while driving.
Okay. We shouldn't be too much longer.
Okay.
We literally have 2 spots left.
Oh. 4 actually now, because I got 2 more.
Well, fair enough.
But we can do more of those next week if we need to. I'm
Yeah.
fine with that.
I will tell you right now, just to expedite things and knock something off your list. If you want information from the city, like, you have to put in a request, and they will get back to you within 2 to 4 weeks.
All right. I will put that request in and give them Cillian's name.
Okay. Freedom of information request.
Mm-hmm.
I still wait for Ty to get reset up.
I'm gonna do a BRB. 1 second.
Okay.
Welcome back.
We're just waiting for Quasta to get back.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Okay, on to the Temple of
Before-
Ioun. Nope.
Before we get there, like on the way,
Mhm.
I will attempt to locate both Pert and Fire.
Okay.
Hey Pert, you want to come to the Temple of Ioun with us?
Pert looks slightly antsy. If you mention it's at the university, he looks less antsy. But the book, they might want it back.
I don't think that's how that works.
That's not how it's supposed to work. That doesn't mean that followers of a religion haven't gone off on a crazy tangent. Yes, I'll come along.
Hey Fire,
Huh?
I met this nice lady who could use your help with some plant growing, if that's something you'd be interested in doing.
Plant growing, you say? I stumble through my food. Where?
I give him the directions to the temple.
You people need me! And I fly away.
Okay.
Okay.
What-
Mhm.
What Pert will do is he'll put the book into its holder so that it's hidden, but he'll put the key around his neck.
Mhm.
So that way he's
Also, I wanna
wearing a symbol.
Mhm.
I want to retcon that I'm not literally flying away. I want to go with Emma.
Okay.
Amma would go with you.
So, the Temple of Ioun is located on the westernmost edge of Mainland University campus. Here, in the university area is one of the few places you'll find buildings more than 1 story tall. The 2 whole stories of the temple looks pretty grand in comparison to the rest of the city, although it also looks pretty small in comparison to the university. The main floor is structured like the entrance to a fancy library. The high ceilings bounce the sound around from your footsteps and the muted dialogue of patrons. There are benches, tables, rooms on the outside full of young people, books in hand. You would be forgiven for mistaking this as a university hall. Looking around and then looking up, you see the whole ceiling is an abstract mural full of colors and angular shapes, with a large eye in the center looking down at you all. The same eye that is born on Pert's book.
Mm-hmm.
Noticing how much you stand out from the regular student crowd, an attendant quickly makes eye contact with Camille and makes his way towards you. All of the attendants are dressed in this like black and gold uniform, making them look a bit like fancy butlers. Welcome, my name is Lundril. Is there anything I can help you find?
I have already done the same song and dance with the gold in the collection box, if there is one.
Okay, there is one.
And I'll do the same song and dance with who I am and why I'm here.
Okay.
And then I will surreptitiously elbow Pert to see if he wants to add anything in.
Pert gently takes a grasp on the key and simply mutters the phrase, "The key of knowledge opens up the mind's eye."
Well, welcome home, good sir. I can certainly take a look through the records for you if you'd like. I cannot disclose any personal information if this person came seeking our aid, but I'm sure we can find something on this fire.
Would be most appreciated.
Please feel free to wander. No food or drink in amongst the stacks, though.
I will actually do that. I will not looking for anything specific, just wander the whole place, poking my nose in everywhere that, you know, like, I'm not going through do not enter doors, but like any public place, just seeing if something jumps out at me.
Okay.
Maybe something in Draconic. I'd thumb through that real quick.
I see. Make a perception check. What are the other two doing?
I think for a moment Pert goes to follow the person, considers it again, looks towards husband, and then does actually end up following the attendant, keeping a polite distance until the attendant stops before asking, "Is there anywhere I could talk to someone about a book with an eye?"
Well, our head priest is rather busy at the moment, but perhaps I can inquire about getting you in the next couple of days.
Bert says thanks and leaves the bed and breakfast address.
Okay.
And then goes to just wander the stacks, idly thumbing through, looking for anything in Underdark.
Okay. Camille?
Actually, I would ask if they have any information regarding the celestial beings or cats in Aquilonia and their relationship to other planes and all that stuff.
You are immediately pointed in the direction of all of the Aquilonia information.
Away I go.
You can make a investigation check.
Okay, here's a random roll of the dice. What do I got? Not bad.
Terrible. Yeah, you find a little bit about the celestial cats of Aquilonia. It just there's not much more other than they are strangely intelligent, very large and fluffy. They are considered like markers of good fortune.
Have they been known to have any particular abilities? Or...
There are rumors that they can talk to certain people if they so choose. Rizwin, as you're like wandering through the stacks, you don't really see anything in Draconic, but you do hear a muffled like a thump from below. And then like about
under the ground, you mean?
Mm-hmm. About 15 seconds later, you see a couple of attendants rushing towards like a back area marked special access only. One of them's carrying something that you, the player, would recognize as a fire extinguisher.
Oh no.
Nobody else seems to be bothered by it though.
Did somebody just drop a flask full of foof?
Some time goes by, and Lundrel comes back, and is able to tell you that yes, indeed, there was a dock fire about 20 years ago, that just started as a freak accident. Somebody dropped an oil lantern, and it had been really dry for a number of days, and so the wood just, started going up like that. The wind was just at the right angle to make it spread. But as luck would have it, or perhaps as Talos would have it, a very large rogue wave came out of the ocean and just all over the fire.
How fortunate.
Mm.
I'm sorry. I need to say something.
Mhm.
I have ruined the word fire for my own self.
Oh my god.
That's your fault. That's a you problem, my friend.
Yeah.
I would give a little more information this time. Description of I would be very careful not to outright imply that Bashaba is evil, but I would just present the facts and let them speak for themselves. I would go into the Church of Fortune and a little bit of description about Blackcaster and
I mean, it's explicitly known that Bashaba is the goddess of misfortune, right?
Um,
What's the normal people view outside of Blackcaster about that god?
yeah, people would say that she is the goddess of misfortune. That she is not so beloved by her people.
Yeah, like, she'd be like the polar opposite of Timora. D&D lore reminds me of the goddess of luck.
Yeah.
and then I would this individual specifically I am hoping has information about something that was stolen from the temple of my goddess.
I
Full
see.
stop, I guess.
Well, there was nothing in the records about any person or god associated with this fire. It was just a freak accident. Whether that had some divine aspect to it, that is not for us to say.
Yes, it is unfortunately the nature of a deity that deals in less obvious signs. Are there any records of similar freak accidents around the same time?
Make an insight check.
Sure. No.
My God, today.
Lindril maintains a carefully composed exterior and says, I can certainly check for you.
I'd be very grateful.
You spend another couple of hours waiting for this guy to look for any freak accidents that would have happened 20 years ago.
Is it the kind of thing where I'm just hanging around for most of the rest of the day and he comes out like 4 hours later and didn't, like, just assumed I would have left by now? I was like, oh, you're still here.
No, he's doing the research.
Okay.
He just really wishes you would have gone away instead. He was unable to find anything noteworthy in terms of freak accidents around 20 years ago.
Okay. My default action here is going to be to try to tip him. Before I do that, can I roll an insight check to see if that's appropriate?
Sure. That's a little better. It's probably more appropriate to tip the god.
Tip your gods.
Okay. I will still give him 1 gold, and then I will put 2 more gold into the offering box.
Okay.
Okay, I think that's it for me. I also want to go to the docks, but I think at this point that should be a next week thing.
Yeah.
Or unless you just want to have me make a roll and see if I get anything.
How about we say that you spent so much fucking time at this Temple of Ioun that it is like early evening by the time you're done, and if you're gonna make your appointment at the Proving Grounds, you better go now.
Okay.
That works, and then we can follow up with Bahamut and the other stuff after we deal with
Yes.
Palos.
Did Pert end up seeing anything eye-catching, or is it just kind of random
no,
titles?
everything that you saw was either in Common or Dwarvish, which seem to be the 2 common languages in Nerona.
Okay.
Okay, so all of you are going, correct?
We are now.
Yeah, I think this has intrigued Rizwan enough. Anybody that's paying attention to her, there's both a bit of...
Is there a tinge of obsession about this?
Yeah, it's more like... I don't know how it manifests outwardly. She doesn't know that she's going to Candlekeep yet. This is me getting her to the point where she knows she needs to go to Candlekeep. And she is desperately trying to find any bit of information that leads her somewhere other than Candlekeep. And is slowly coming to the realization that she's not going to find it.
So she gotta confront her demons whether she likes it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
So you would pick up a bit of despondency, a bit of franticness, and yeah, probably a bit of obsession as well.
Okay.
The obsession being looking for any possible alternative than going to Candlekeep.
Yerp.
So, Zoe spent the day while everybody else was out doing other stuff, going out and either using clothing she had or things she had to go out and buy, and making an outfit that looks like what we think a standard D&D rogue looks like.
Okay.
So
I love
poofy
it.
shirt, leather, boots, floppy hat with a feather sticking out of it.
That's a bard, my dude.
Tons of belts.
Black cloak.
Sorry, when I think of a rogue, I think of Jarxel from Alright, Salvatore.
I'm basically, she's trying to make it so when she goes into the fight, everybody thinks she's just like this little stabby thing.
Very
Also-
good, very good.
Jimmy, would it be fair to remind people retroactively to make sure your spells were selected for planning on going into?
Yes. Make sure the spells you have already been selected.
So this is your one retroactive warning?
Because I'm not gonna lie, when it was like you can go in there by yourself, so it was like, yeah, I'm gonna go fuck something up.
And who knows, maybe it'll be a bunch of solo bouts and a group bout. Who knows?
So the Proving Grounds is an open secret in Nerona. More open, less secret. It is an underground fighting ring with all sorts of matches for all sorts of levels that one can partake in. All the matches are public, quote unquote public, and betting on the matches is a favorite pastime of many of the thugs, pirates, and other less cultured individuals. There are a number of venues set up around the city so as to avoid the half-hearted attempts of law enforcement to clamp down on some of the more illicit activities. Tonight, the venue is below a seedy-looking inn at the very south of town. An old dwarven lady with a cigar in her mouth runs the elevator down for you when you show her your handwritten invitation. A crowd of maybe 30 occupies a dimly lit basement. Waist-high walls have been erected around a misshapen ring, which everyone is crowded around, while a dwarf sweeps the inside of the ring. The four of you that went to the temple last night recognize the man in armor standing near the edge. And as you walk forward, he motions to you and says, "Hail, our new contenders!" Everyone turns around with a huzzah as you near. You gather that these are some of the fighters and or the people that run the show.
Sizing of the competition. Do you see anything out of the ordinary, or is it like just sort of your run-of-the-mill thugs?
Make an insight.
Well, I want to roll too. I guess next week we're gonna do other things that we did in the way during the day, like me going to
Yeah, we'll talk
the
about that next
temple.
week.
Okay.
Okay. Camille, you mostly see like what you would expect, some big bruiser type folks, a few people that look a little more like pert.
Okay. Nothing that gives him pause.
Not immediately. Fire, you notice these two little gnomish girls, like in the back. You see them because you're a little bit taller than everybody else. They seem a little out of place.
Yep. They're dangerous. I gotta say without any context. Oh no, they got two Zoes.
The man that you talk to introduces himself as Gren. And speaking to To all of you, he says, so first we need to place you. Too many routes, the crowd gets bored. Everybody wants a good fight. And when he says this, an older half-orc steps into the ring, no weapons, and raises his fist. And Gren says, well, let's see what you can do. Who's gonna go fight this guy?
I will.
Okay.
This is bare knuckle.
Yeah.
We're doing this now, or we're doing it?
Oh yeah, we're doing this now. This is
Okay.
your placement.
I will make sure I don't kill him by radiant damage, so I won't be using improved divine smite.
Okay. He is just like, got his fists up like he's waiting for you to make the first move.
Okay. Do you want initiative, or do you just want me to roll a
Just
punch?
roll. Just roll a punch. Roll damage.
Ignore the radiant.
You throw, like, he is just, he's waiting, like, he's gonna dodge you, and he cannot dodge your fist as it comes out of nowhere, right in the jaw, and he, like, stumbles a few steps into the boards, has a bit of a shocked look on his face, and the crowd is just silent. And then everyone goes, ah! The older half-orc gives Gren a thumbs up. Gren says, well, I guess now we know. You all like that?
So he goes up to this gentleman and just tries to heal him, but make it look like she's not using magic to do it. Puts a stake on his eye and then heals him to the stake.
I was going to do the same thing, honestly.
That's funny. We roll to see if he recognizes what you're doing. Yeah. It's a nice cold steak. He says, well, that's very kind, miss.
Nice steak.
I was told this was, a proving ground, not a killing ground. So.
The lady's very right. We do have healers on staff.
I crack my neck after, and I just extend a hand to him after.
Yeah, he shakes it. Gren pulls you aside and gives you the rundown of the rules. So each fight is to knock out or to yield. If you try to hurt somebody who is knocked out, you are disqualified and banned from ever participating again. Each match does have a ref, and you must listen to them. Don't intentionally attack anyone other than your opponent. That being said, those who are in the front row know they're in the splash zone. If you're using magic, don't waste it on healing after the fight. There are medics on standby. Also, you have hit dice.
And our own healing.
Mm-hmm.
That's not spell slot related.
I raise my hand.
Yes.
Should we expect more than one fight tonight? But per person, I mean?
Ultimately, it's up to you. However, I think I have a very good fight for the 6 of you. A 6-on-1.
6-on-1.
I kind of just raised my eyebrow at that.
But maybe before that, you could participate in some of the solo or duo fights.
I like the idea of that.
It seems like the more. Would it be fair to say, Jamie, the more willing we are to participate, the more likely it is we'll curry favor?
Yes.
Then yes, that's a good idea.
Okay. So so this is where we're gonna end tonight. Because I need you guys to decide how you're gonna break up the fights. There is one solo fight available, which is basically anything you got. There is one brawl, which is no weapons, no spells, no items. It's fisticuffs. And then 2 duo fights.
Zoe would like the solo fight.
Is the solo fight no holds bars?
Yes.
I wouldn't mind the brawl.
I was gonna say I can do. We can do more than one fight too, right?
I would like it to be 2 duo fights and then 2 solo fights, just so that everybody gets a chance to do one of them, and then the 6v1.
Okay, I'll do one of the duo fights.
Okay.
Sounds reasonable.
I need to know the duos though, so that I can make sure that the fights are interesting.
How about I have a way of spicing it up, Jamie. How about someone else nominate themselves for the other duo fight, and then you roll to see who their partners are?
I like it being random.
Okay.
Like random right now, so you can plan ahead.
Yeah, Pert's willing to do the duo fight as well.
Okay.
So Camille and Pert as captains, and then you pick 2 randoms.
Yeah.
From our group.
Fire and Emma can't be together.
Why not?
Because we just decided that.
Okay, duo... okay. I thought of something like that, a rule from Jamie, like we cannot put those two together.
Yeah, we'll make it interesting because Fire and Emma do everything together.
Yeah.
So this will be Camille's partner. 1 is Fire, 2 is Emma. Camille and Fire.
That's a wonderful duo. Hey, Fire. Or Quasta. Holy Badgers.
Oh, yeah.
Crusader's mantle with summon
Time for
summon
the holy
animals.
badgers.
And then Pert and Emma will be the other duo. Emma can bring Melis with him. That's fine.
Whatever.
But you might end up fighting somebody who also has a companion.
They better be, because Emma and Pert together can delete someone pretty fast.
Probably, actually.
Yeah.
To be fair, you and I can delete someone pretty fast.
Yeah, like we can mow on grass like pretty easily. We have our own strength, but these are the 2, let's say, assassins on the group.
Yeah. Okay.
I have 2 questions.
Yes.
For the purposes of attaching an item to a weapon, do my fists count as a weapon?
Would it be fair to say you have a cestus or brass knuckles or something?
No brass knuckles.
No brass knuckles? Ooh.
Also,
what
Nibbles...
is the question?
Nibbles asking if he can put remember on Rizwan's fists. I would say no.
Okay.
I would like to talk to you this week about unarmed combat, because I don't want this to be like you and your opponent just 3 and 4 hit point punching each other for 2 hours.
That's probably
like, we gotta find a way to eat through your hit points faster, or we're gonna be there for a really long time.
That's a good idea.
So we'll figure something out. I haven't found anything that I'm really happy with online. So
the other question I had was, can I have spent an amount of time? It might take like a half hour, like really tightly braiding her hair, like as close to the scalp as possible, and then fastening the scarf with like pins and clips and stuff, so it's less likely to come off.
Okay, yeah,
she
that's
has
fine.
not used the dye, so
yeah. And you have like time before, like between when you did your placement and decide what your fight configuration is and when you're ready to go, because people haven't, like, the audience hasn't come in yet.
Yeah. So I'm fine with there being like a chance of it flying off, but I want to have put some work in to make sure that it doesn't.
Okay, I'm excited for Zoe's solo fight.
Yeah, you beat me to it. I was about to say the same thing.
I have, like, this is just wrestling in my head.
This is a bit more than wrestling. This is MMA.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the scene is more what you would expect out of wrestling in my head, which means I'm just gonna eat the scenery.
Okay. So we will pick up next week with the solo and duo fights. I think this, aside from maybe Trevarian, I think this is the first time you actually fought people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm scared of destroying someone.
Well, that's why they wanted to do a placement, so that they can put you up against someone who can handle it.
Who wouldn't just get turned into a fine red mist from a punch?
Yeah.
Can we also assume, based on the comment about hit dice, that we will get a short rest between the fight and the fight?
You will. You are not the only fighters. There's gonna be like probably about 15 different matches. 15 to 20 matches. Because most of them are not that long.
Yeah, I say ours are probably gonna be longer because we're sturdy.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the average hit point for a commoner?
Like 5?
4.
Yeah.
So, ruling question: can you do? What do we need to worry to specify things like not doing things non-lethal?
No. That is going to be assumed for this, because the entire thing is supposed to be non-lethal.
Okay.
That being said, like, you can make your opponents bleed. You're supposed to make your opponents bleed.
Yeah, I assume that they even have a way, like there's a way to, for this specific instance, from magical energies to not be lethal.
Mm-hmm.
Like the healers will get in enough time to deal with it, or there's someone around who knows they can't be spared to spare the dying cantrip or something.
Okay.
You know.
Circle of 30 this.
Let's see, yes, Cameo is the equivalent of 29.25 dollars. Alrighty, that is everything.
That is everything.
Go get food.
Food.
I need to go back to work.
Ooh, work.
Oh,
I'm gonna make
Or
grilled
coop.
cheese.
I also need to get food.
Do too, but I have to cross the border first.
Alrighty, I will catch you all later.
Yeah, I'm gonna head
Take
up
care.
too. Good night, guys.
Good
Yeah, good night.
Yeah.
Bye bye.